Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal, back with the latest and greatest Mr. Informal Podcast 153. I did not have a podcast last week as I was on vacation. Finally. I'm telling y'all, you should all go out for a vacation just to get away from whatever out there in the world that is happening right now. Refresh your mind, refresh your bodies, certainly refresh your soul. So we are on the podcast 153. I go by the name Mr. Informal. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you are healthy. And please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal. And then check out my website, mrinformal.com, mrinformal.com. Got some good articles there, blogs, and check out my store for items that I made by myself. Please check that out. And so these are the 4 topics for this Mr. Informal Podcast 153. So Nike and Kobe will not extend their partnership or even their contract. So we'll see how that goes. Number 2, fast delivery problems in terms of our online orders. Shipping so fast, could be this day, next day. I mean, it's becoming a problem towards our fellow workers out there, and certainly their body. Number 3, Suez canal payment, however you want to pronounce it. Suez canal. Apparently Egypt authorities want money because they lost a lot of money because of the particular boat itself. And then last but not least, this is a topic that I don't normally cover, but I think it is quite relevant, especially what is happening right now, is the third dose. The third dose of a virus shot, a vaccine shot. That is interesting. Why do we need 3 when we already have 2? I mean, how many doses do we need? It seems like, hey, it's another one of those flu shots that you take every year. And so those are the 4 topics for this Mr. Informal Podcast 153. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So article from High Snob titled Kobe Bryant's legendary Nike sneaker deal has ended. Kobe Bryant's deal with Nike is over, bringing to an end to one of the longest running and most iconic basketball sneakers lines of all time. First reported Monday night, Kobe Bryant's estate and Nike failed to come to an agreement to renew the NBA great's last 5-year extension, which was signed April 2016. Wow. Nike confirmed the news shortly after reports surfaced online, issuing statements that reads, Kobe Bryant was an important part of Nike's deep connection to consumers. He pushed us and made everyone around him better. Through our contractual relationship has ended, he remains deeply remembered a member of the Nike family. Kobe signed in 2003, and then they released 11 signature models. His shoe has been worn by basketball players such as Giannis, Devin, DeMar, and even LeBron. Not only that, certainly they released his signature shoes from past shoes. They re-release it to honor his dad and certainly to continue on with his legacy. Now, certainly his Kobe Bryant's wife was probably talking some deals, but it just never they never had an agreement with her and Nike. So let's talk about this. So 2021, right? So Kobe died on January 2020. So during the tenor, why Nike waited to this day? Why they didn't reach out to Kobe back in 2019, even in January 2020? Why they waited? Not only that, it's too bad that Kobe's legacy is not going to continue. Now, my question is that, okay, so the contract has ended. Will Nike release more shoes after that? Now, I don't know what was the details in the contract. I haven't looked up that yet. But if that is the case, then that means that any merchandise that Kobe's name is on, including the Mamba name, is not going to be released, or there will be no more release unless Kobe's estate and Nike also makes a new contract and make this legacy go. Now, certainly, while Nike is in it for the money, and let's be real, they're in it for the money. I mean, some parts of it was probably relationship and legacy, but they're just in it for the money. And so I'm guessing Nike wants more stakes at the contract than Kobe's estate, because since Kobe's not living, Kobe can't promote the brand anymore because he's not here with us anymore. And so, I mean, we'll see how this goes. Now, another thing about that is, let's not forget, is Adidas. Adidas was also the brand that Kobe started with. I mean, Kobe has shoes with Adidas, however you want to pronounce it. And how will Adidas play a role in this type of partnership? I wonder if Adidas actually reach out to Kobe's estate and see if they could make some type of mutual agreement. And if that is the case, then let's assume that Adidas does continuing our partnership with Kobe. Nike is really going to look bad, because if Adidas can make it happen, why Nike cannot make it happen? Adidas is going to look good at the end of this. I guess this agreement, this type of partnership that they're is happening right now. And it is too bad that Kobe's contract with Nike is just ended, because I'm a fan of Kobe Bryant's signature shoes. Certainly the 4, 5, 6, 7 line signature shoes. I'm an absolute fan of that. And so we'll see how this goes. I don't think this is over yet. Certainly they want to make an agreement, because, like I said, if Adidas suddenly make something happen with Kobe's estate, then Nike will look bad in this. So I want to talk about something that I don't have articles for, certainly no sources, but with all the consumer demand online, buying online, we all want fast delivery, but it's certainly taking a toll in our warehouse workers, because as you can tell, with not passing a union with Amazon workers, I mean, they're gonna go back to work and do what they were originally doing. But with fast working, certainly efficiency has to be there, timing has to be there, but it's taking a toll to our warehouse workers out there, especially their body, mentally, and physical health. And people don't know about that, because the same day shipping is not easy. Not only that, if you see Amazon workers giving you the package, I mean, they have to go through hoops. They got to go to gates. You got to call these people. Where they, and the people who are expecting their package don't really care. I mean, they're not answering the phone. They're not really doing much. I mean, they just try to expect Amazon workers to do their thing, but it's not as easy. Same thing with FedEx and UPS. People think, hey, if you live in a business, if your building is a business, that's easy. That's absolutely easy, because that's a business. But if you're talking about a residential shipping address, certainly that's harder, because you don't know what you will drive into. You could be driving to a gate, you could be driving into some ghetto places. I'm telling you, it is what it is. And so not only that, when Amazon calls you up, I mean, you better answer. Now, don't get me wrong, I've ran into this where it rang, I just didn't notice it. It wasn't because I was ignoring it, I just didn't notice it. And so I just missed the package, and so I just waited the next day or look for Amazon outside and see if they are still there. They are there. Hey, here, you call me. Here's my order, so and so. So these fast deliveries getting out of hand. I know Target recently made a news where they want to make faster shipping. It's like, damn. I mean, how can we make a faster shipping on the same day or in the same state? Are we talking about Next day, same day. I know that same day only happens if you are in a major city, such as New York, Seattle, could be Houston, could be LA, certainly San Francisco. We're talking about major city here, so not everybody will have fast shipping, and that also depends on the warehouse. That also depends on what time you want to order. And so, as you can tell from Amazon case, people were taking a piss on a bottle. That is not good. That is absolutely not good. That is inhumane. That should not be happening. Not only that, they get reported if they take a bathroom break. And their bathroom is actually quite, and from what the reports I read, is that the bathroom is actually quite far. It can take 5-minute walk. That's absolutely ridiculous. I think that for any company to be efficient, if you're gonna take a bathroom break, make it close, and then they can get back to whatever they're doing. I mean, it's absolutely maddening. You can't even, it's almost as if you can't drink water, because if you drink water, especially cold water, that's gonna make you piss. And so, all these timing fast delivery is causing a lot of warehouse workers to have some physical and mental health issue. And so that is absolutely not great. And we need to support them no matter the day, the time, the year, no matter the season, no matter the sign of the times. So here's an article from Daily News, New York Daily News, titled Egypt wants $1 billion after ship blocks Suez Canal. The Egyptian government has calculated $1 billion bill to get the MV Ever Given cargo ship unstuck in the Suez Canal. The massive freighter was stuck for 6 days, leading to Egypt working around the clock to dredge the canal and refloat the vessel, which paused global trade and cost the Egyptian government millions in transit fees and work hours that it wants to collect. That is the right of country, Lieutenant General Osama, head of Suez Canal Authority, told Egypt Sada El Balad News it should get its due. According to USA Today, they said the captain of the Ever Given, Chris Siller, has not cooperated with the investigation into how the ship became stuck while passing through the canal last week. The ship is not expected to be permitted to continue its journey to Rotterdam in the Netherlands until the investigation is complete. The Egyptian government maybe even go so far as to seize the ship and put the crew under house arrest until expenses are recouped. Wow. It is estimated that the stick ship, which delayed more than 400 other boats from passing through the canal, causing global trade about $10 billion that could lead to temporary shortages of many common products. Wow. Look, number one is that I'm not a fan of the Egyptian government trying to have a thought of seizing the ship or keeping the ship as hostage, or some type of trade agreement with the owner of the ship for $1 billion. Not only that, how did they calculate $1 billion? Like, are the workers making $1 million per hour? Or like the workers who free the ship? Like, I need to know, how did they get a $1 billion? Because I'm looking into this and no one seems to have an answer where, well, they're calculating $1 billion. Now, they said, oh, it lost 10 billions during that week. Well, how is that the Egyptian government fault? And not only that, another thing is that the captain of the ship, Chris Sillard, has not cooperated with an investigation. So, I need to understand, there's too many things here that is happening that is not right. And so that is absolutely too bad if the captain of the ship is not cooperating. I don't know what they mean by cooperating. Maybe they mean that, why didn't you tell us, what we want to hear? You see, I don't like that. If that's the case, then the Egyptian government fault. But at the same time is that the goods are being hostage, even though I don't know whose fault this is certainly, but I need to know, how did they get into the $1 billion cost, and how did the ship get stuck? And so no one's really answering right now, and this is absolutely too bad that no one is cooperating from both parties, even now. even now. Unbelievable. So, it shouldn't even take that long when it comes to investigation. I mean, look, how did you get stuck? I mean, what way? What direction? I need to know. Was the driver drunk? Was he sleeping? Was he not paying attention? I mean, out of my lifetime, this is the first time in my lifetime where I heard about this, and it caused a major global shortage of goods. I can't specifically say what type of shortage, but certainly in Europe, I bet it affected them. I'm sure it affected us too. So we'll see how this goes. And certainly this is not over yet. So here's a topic I don't normally talk about, but needs to be talked about due to the sign of the times. So from Yahoo News, the scientist behind Pfizer vaccine says people will likely need a third virus shot in yearly doses. Talking about the coronavirus. Scientists behind Pfizer's coronavirus said people will need a third dose. Dr. Tulechi, BioNTech chief medical officer, echoed comments from Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. People would also need yearly dose of shot as immunity wanes, as she said. Jeez. Okay. So we see this waning of immune system response also in people who are disinfected, and therefore it's also expected with the vaccine. Tulechi's comments echo what Pfizer CEO Albert expressed earlier this month. He said people would require a booster shot of the vaccine within a year, which would mean this December for those who were first in line originally. So the demand of coronavirus is beginning to dwindle in the U.S., with some immunization sites closing even before the country has reached herd immunity. Dr. Fauci, the country would likely need 85% of the population to be immunized, but he added that nobody knows for sure what percentage would halt of the virus. So this is basically just like the regular flu. We're gonna need it every year. But as you know, since we're talking about the pharmaceutical industry or the medical industry, the money. Seriously. The thing about this is that I have a problem with this, is that why couldn't they announce this the first time when they were creating a vaccine? Why now? I mean, yes, they are expert, but it shows you that we're not even, this vaccine is just a vaccine. It's not a cure. Like, we don't have a cure for this. We're just making preventive measures. And so now, sooner or later, we're going to ask ourselves, okay, what is the difference between coronavirus and the regular flu virus? Coronavirus is a type of flu. And so what's the difference between flu and this coronavirus if we're going to take a flu shot? I mean, sooner or later, we're going to need to combine the flu shot and the coronavirus shot all at once. That way, we don't have to take 2 shots, 3 shots. I mean, as you can tell, it might take a yearly thing now. Okay, how many vaccines do we need to take? I mean, people say that, oh, there's no side effects, but we don't know that yet. We haven't had a long-term history of side effects for the coronavirus. Now, right now, people don't know. Not only that, we still don't know the side effects of the coronavirus vaccine in pregnant women. What about disabled people? I mean, we don't know. So even now, doctors are saying it is not recommended that they take the coronavirus shot when you're pregnant. Nobody knows. As of right now, I feel as though that people just want to hear the truth, but no one is really telling the truth because they are afraid of their industry blackmailing them. Or actually, I shouldn't say blackmailing, but blacklisting them, meaning take away their certifications, take away their diploma and degrees and so on, and talk trash about them on TV. So how many times are we going to go through this? Like, I would like to hear a panel of doctors, an actual debate. One side of you having to take coronavirus booster shots and taking yearly, and the other side where, okay, I think 2 shots is enough. Enough is enough. I would like to see debate on that, but no one's gonna be willing to do that. I would like to see a debate of actual facts. But for the most part, I don't think no doctor or no professional would ever want to do that, because again, they don't want to be blacklisted of a certain industry. So, I mean, I think my recommendation, and I don't mean to say, I'm not telling you what to do, but maybe it's just better to wait until the coronavirus shot is combined with the regular flu shot. Hopefully that actually happens. But again, this saga is not over. We'll see where this goes. And so that basically concludes this Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you enjoy listening to me from beginning to end, and certainly I hope I gave you some insights, and hope you learned something today. And please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MisterInformal, and then check out my website. Got some great stuff there. Got some great items there. MrInformal.com, MrInformal.com. And so I will see you in the next podcast. I hope you have a great day, and certainly be safe and be healthy. Bye-bye.